and welcome to the channel. My name is Becky and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I haven't done this before on my channel because I don't actually get subscription boxes. However, recently I did get 2 subscription boxes from Upcrate for my birthday. So we're going to open these up together. This is Upcrate 68 and Upcrate 66. I guess I will open up number 66 first because that is a lower number, and yes, I'm a little bit anal that way. So we've got the box here. I got these Art Space color markers, 6 pieces. They're dual tip color markers. I don't know much more about them, but let's go ahead and pop this open. I'm going to guess that they're alcohol markers. They definitely look like alcohol markers. They look very similar to a Copic in their shape. They're kind of that oblong shape. And then we got a Art Space black liner 0.6. We got 6 colored pencils from Upcrate, from Color Space again. There we go, you can see the colors there. And then I got this Raffine Art Sketch pencil. Oh, it's white. It is white. Cool. With a lot of subscription boxes, you get a piece of art by whoever their featured artist is. So this is the art that was included in there. And this is by soluble Art. You can see their name, and let me see. It looks like you can find them on Instagram at soluble Art. Cool stuff there. Let me see. Yep, they are. These are definitely alcohol markers, as I suspected. So cool. And then we got some mixed media paper. This is 280 GSM. We are in. So this is the paper. Trying to do the sound test. Definitely has a nice thickness to it. There are no names. Oh, there's a name on the end. This says it's sapphire. It looks like we've got a brush nib and a chisel tip. That's more of a bullet nib. It's not a brush nib. It doesn't flex at all. Alright, next we're going to do the colored pencils here. And it looks like, no, we don't have the same set of colors as we did here. There are no color names on these at all. They're okay. Nothing to write home about. They are a pretty hard pencil. I'm pushing pretty hard on these and they're not breaking, so that's kind of nice. They do seem like reasonable pencils. They don't feel as smooth as some color pencils I've used in the past. But that's that. I guess I can try this fine liner, which I kind of forgot about. This is the black liner. That's fine. And then the only thing left is this white pencil. So give me a second and I'll sharpen that and we can give that a try. Did it break on me? It did. It broke already. That's great. It works. Give this pencil a 0 out of 10. I'm sharpening this again and again and it just keeps breaking off. Maybe if I used a razor or something like that to sharpen it, it would work, but it just keeps breaking off. So 0 out of 10 on this guy. Boo. And then we will open up Upcrate number 68. That's a pretty purple. I love purple. That's a beautiful color. Love it. Ooh, we got a couple of brushes. We got a 1/2 inch flat and a number 6 round. These are again Art Space or Art Space. I got this soft brush sign pen in a green color. And same thing in a red. That's pretty. And then we got watercolor crayons. Oh, okay. I don't have any of these, so that's kind of fun. I got some stickers. I got stickers. I think that was the art this month. Oh, fun. Cool, cool. Anyway, watercolor crayons. Of course, it's tape shop. Of course it is. Of course. There we go. Ooh, okay. I got a bunch of different colors here. Very kind of neon-y colors, some of them. Fun. Oh no, this is the art. I just got extra stickers. Cool, I didn't get stickers in the other one. This is pretty. This is these cherry tomatoes. And this is by our co-captain, Bayana Sienna. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you can see their name here. Hopefully you can read that. And you can follow them on Instagram there. There we go. That is pretty cool. And then we got a watercolor paper pad, 10 sheets, 300 GSM. Oh, they're very flat. That's something I don't like about crayons, is you don't get any precision. And I know they're not supposed to be precise, whatever. I just don't like it. Okay, this fell on the floor and smooshed a little bit, so whoopsies. It rolls very easily. Ooh. Ooh. That feels really nice, like lipstick. That's kind of nice. That feels really nice. That felt like just lipstick just gliding on there. That was satisfying. That was very satisfying. I did not expect that. Oh, that glides on so beautifully. Those are just kind of fun. And this is on really smooth paper, so I'm guessing that if I put this on a watercolor paper, it's going to grip on a little bit differently and feel a little different. But, ooh, I don't think I've ever felt an art supply like that before. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to feel more like a crayon. Kind of scratchy. It was definitely not scratchy. Alright, I'm going to try just smudging with my finger. It does smudge with your finger, so that's expected. So these are brush sign pens. So let's try these. That's a very tiny little point there. It does have a nice flex to it. You can get a nice variety of line. These are nice. I like that. Well, this has got like a little rubber thing on there. Okay, so these guys are supposed to be water soluble. So let's see what happens. All right. Oh. Okay. That really pulls around quite nicely. That's nice. Yeah. So it doesn't bleed out like you would see with a watercolor or anything. It stays in place, but definitely you can move it around very easily. Oh, well, that's interesting. This moves very easily when you put a wet brush on it. You can move it around pretty easily. But weirdly, if you put water down first and then draw, the lines stay easier. Huh. That's really bizarre. That's not what I expected to have happen. So this is 300 GSM. It says no structure. It's a pretty smooth, more of like a hot press kind of texture here than anything else. So if we use one of these guys on here, we're probably going to see a very similar. Okay, there is a texture there, and you can definitely see it, as opposed to what was on the other paper there. You can see that texture pretty well. But then, like I said, if I take a brush, it does a very good job of just kind of moving that pigment around very nicely. These are very interesting. So I'm probably going to go like up to here-ish, like a third of the way up with my forest and stuff. So I'm just going to start off with kind of a circle here of yellow, and this will probably radiate out a little bit more. So I'm going to just kind of do this, because I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing here. And then kind of blend that out into oranges. Do I have any idea if any of this is gonna work? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So let's go ahead and get my brush nice and wet. But I don't really know what I'm doing here, so that's all good. Some of those lines are definitely kind of remaining, which is a little unfortunate. That's not what I was going for here, but this is, as I said, my first time actually using this stuff, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So I think I'm going to do the green down here. I'm going to blend a lot of the green, this lighter green out, and then I'm going to come in with the darker green and make that a little bit less blendy, I guess. These are some very vibrant colors. Very, very vibrant. My thought was to try and do kind of trees here, kind of a la Bob Ross style. Just kind of some trees off in the distance, and maybe I will mix in some of this other green color in here. Maybe blend some of this out too. That's kind of a fun little texture going on there. I kind of like that. Just like this little scribbly kind of texture here to give some variation to the grass. I'm gonna go ahead and try to toss some cloud shapes in here. Oh, that actually kind of works. I don't know, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and do the tape peel. This was kind of fun and allowed me to be more expressive than I normally am. So that was kind of cool. Okay, well, I finished that piece and this is how it turned out. It turned out a little bit different than I had anticipated. I kind of played with it and experimented a lot. So I did a really kind of blendy sky here and started off with a very blendy grass down here, and then more expressive trees in the background, and then started just kind of scribbling on and really liked the kind of texture it ended up with there, and then added some clouds up here, and it was kind of fun that you could actually blend them by just kind of rubbing one color over top of another and get a very different kind of more saturated color and more of a blend there. So that was kind of fun. That was really cool. I ended up using the watercolor pad that came in the same box as the crayons. They were really fun to use and made me work in a way that I don't normally work, because this is kind of more expressive and a little bit more free than I typically work. So as I was doing the trees and the grass here, I was just kind of scribbling and not really thinking a whole lot about like getting things precise, because you can't get precision with these because they're just a big old nub on the end there. So there's no precision with these at all. I suppose you could try to sharpen them, but because they are so soft, they're just gonna and blunt right back out again. So you can't really get precision with them. But I did end up making this, and I think it's kind of cool. Let me know what you think. If you want to see me try these guys again in some other way, let me know. Maybe I will give something else a go, but these were pretty fun to use, and I think I will pull them out every now and then if I just want to play with something. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great time. If you did, please, please, please think about subscribing, giving a like, commenting below, all those sorts of things. They really, really help out the channel more than you realize. And I know every YouTuber says it, but it really, really does help. The more like interaction I get with this video, the more it gets pushed out to other people, the more other people get to discover me, the quicker the channel grows. So anyway, I hope you had a good time, and I will see you again next week. Bye.